What are you up to? This is absolutely crazy. What's next? Donald Trump is president?
Long has humankind strived for the absolute pinnacle of achievement in physical ability and mental resilience. Marathons, the Olympics, every modern day sport, all attempts to push us to go further. But without any of us realizing, in 1989, humans did it. We achieved the pinnacle during the roller games.
From the world-famous Super Roller Dome, it's a sellout crowd for the television premiere of Roller Games.
This sport of legend has it absolutely everything you could ever want. The quintessential fight between good and evil.
Will Dar the Star outshine Sweet Stephanie in a hair-pulling punch-out?
The human struggle versus nature.
Oh no! Not the devastating alligator pit!
Boom! Crushing hits.
Bone-crunching matchup for the coveted gold!
And energy.
All tonight on Roller Games!
This show even predicted the future correctly.
Absolutely crazy! What's next? Donald Trump is president?
30 years ahead of his time. The fact that this last presidency was a joke in the 80s, that speaks for itself. Today, we'll be watching the first episode of the Roller Games. Don't relax because it's the most hype thing in the world. Has me wanting to run through a wall. So the way this sport works, I think, is you get points for like going up this wall.
Just wait till you see these skaters take on the 14-foot high wall of death. It could be devastating.
And then like landing this jump.
A sky jump.
It could be devastating.
And I think looping the other team, which is why they're like taking each other out all the time. I don't know for sure. I watched a whole episode like a week ago and I don't remember how it worked, but it doesn't matter. That's the one thing I would like to stress, that the points don't matter.
And yes, the live alligator pit used during sudden death overtime. Chuck, that could be devastating.
Well, as witnessed about an hour ago, when the best laid plans of alligators and men went awry.
They call him Animal, the fearless master of the roller gator.
I mean, what up, Animal? Have you seen Animal? Like, oh my god. He is the pinnacle of mankind. What you doing later? Wrestling the roller gator? Count me in. Now it's time to meet the contestants, or at least the contestants that matter, in the roller games. So there are 6 teams, but most of them don't play today. You got teams like the Rockers.
And the Rockers are out to prove that they are as good on the track as in the recording studio. The Rockers, the team that turns it up all the way.
And teams like the Maniacs.
They look to astrology for their game plan.
But we're gonna focus in on 2 teams, the T-Birds and the Violators. First up, we got the T-Birds, America's team.
Introducing first, the world-famous World Champion T-Birds! 19 World Championships in 30 years! The fabulous Thunderbirds, they are America's team. Not just a superb collection of athletes, the T-Birds are more, much more.
I love their example of superb athletes.
Superb collection of athletes. The T-Birds are more, much more.
Superb athletes.
What are we gonna do? Jump out of the airplane! That's right, jump out of an airplane. Done? We have no parachute for you.
No sweat, coach.
That's right, coach.
Soars, taking them to new heights of competition. The T-Birds, #1 for good reason.
Hey, all you guys. What's taking so long?
I get the sentiment behind this warning, but like also, shouldn't they just tell kids not to jump off of like anything, period? What kids are gonna have the opportunity to like jump out of a plane without a parachute? Like kids are just paying for private charter parachute planes. Kids, don't jump off of high things. And then we got the Violators.
Introducing the Violators! Well, this team can taste that world championship, so they're after the T-Birds. The Violators are hell on wheels, part savage biker, part caveman. There are some things that Violators won't do, only nobody has found out what it is. Their keeper is Skull, the Cranium Commander. He only answers to one god, Gamba, the all-powerful.
Did Skull just offer Gamba $500? Is that like Gamba's equivalent of tithe? Episode 1 has 3 matches. Bad Attitude versus T-Birds, Rockers versus Violators, and then whichever wins those games goes to the championship game. First up, we got Bad Attitude versus the T-Birds. Let's go!
Don Lastra begins this first semifinal between the red, white, and blue T-Birds and the black-jerseyed Bad Attitude. Well, perhaps tonight's grudge to watch involves the 2 titans of the league.
No doubt about it, it's going to be the Monster Man, who may try to use a few scare tactics of his own, and the Icebox, who has vowed to use his new deep freeze play. There he is, 357 pounds, the Icebox. At one time, Chuck, he actually won a hamburger eating contest.
One more milkshake in that guy, and Congress is going to declare him a national park.
All you need to know about the Icebox, apparently, is that he's fat. Not gonna lie, I feel kind of bad for Icebox. If you want hamburgers and milkshakes, dude, you go for it.
Tying up Speedy Gonzalez, well, and now helping him to the concrete below.
Wait a minute, what's going on? The Monster Man is attacking Dynamite Daryl.
Weighs 220.
Now he's going after little Ralphie Violators, the living legend. This guy just won't stop, Chuck. Now he's walking on him.
Wait a minute, what's going on?
Dr. Fu slamming away at BB Blockbuster. Over the rail he goes.
There it is, the deep freeze play. There it is, the Icebox in his deep freeze. He nailed the Monster Man, and the crowd loves it.
That deep freeze play was the most athletic,
devastating move
I have ever seen. Like, I live in Minnesota. I understand freeze. And that right there, that's a deep freeze. Absolutely
devastating.
Well, lest you thought that this sort of violence was the property only of the men of roller games, take a look.
That's one of the most beautiful things about roller games is it's for everyone. The women get to be just as violent as the men. If there's one thing I've taken away from roller games, it's that violence is for everyone. And they figured that out in the 80s.
And coming back as we look at the final scoreboard tally, the T-Birds have come from behind to defeat Bad Attitude.
Uh-oh! There's Georgia Haas once again. I think she's a little upset over this defeat. Got it. Georgia Haas is responsible for this feud out there. Oh, boy! Did Skinny Minnie ever give her a good one?
To the championship game. Let's go to the infield and Shelley.
So we kind of skipped over a little bit of this earlier, but that's the coach of Bad Attitude, who has a bad attitude. She had a bad attitude at the end of the game, so they decided to beat the living crap out of her. So, game 1, recap, T-Birds won. Naturally, they're America's team. So game 2, we have the Rockers versus the Violators.
The Rockers' target tonight will be one of the more diabolical teams in roller games, the Violators.
No doubt about it, Chuck. This is definitely the meanest team in all the league. No doubt about it. Skull has patterned this team after his favorite footballers, the Oakland Raiders.
The writers of this show thought to themselves, what's the most diabolical,
devastating
team we can come up with? And they were like, oh, you know what? Let's just make them like the Oakland Raiders.
In this, what will be the final cycle of the women's period, Dar the Star will be jetting for her Rockers, and Sweet Stephanie, the best of the women of the Violators, will be wearing the black helmet. Lost the jump, so they both get 2, and then they lose their balance. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2, and down goes Stephanie. 2 good skaters. Let's see how they do. That shifty Sendejas. He did not get 3 steps above the top line. Only 2 points for him. The full 6 for Rockin' Ray Robles.
I don't know, Chuck. It looks as though the red call it the other way.
Big points this time, and there's Robles still up.
Now for the Rockers' signature move, crotch to the face, which they've practiced excessively. Let's take another look at that crotch to the face moment.
As you can see, it can be devastating.
Ooh, that's a lot of crotch to a lot of face.
Devastating.
10 seconds left in the cycle. 45-second long, remember?
They could tie it up, and you know what that means, Chuck? That means that we could go to sudden death overtime, and guess what happens? That's when they bring on the Gators.
Animal, you're responsible for the Alligators. Why all the commotion?
Well, frankly, I don't understand what all this controversy is all about. Everybody's trying to make this creature into man-eating, vicious beasts, which they're not.
Should the Alligators go or should they stay?
Of course they should stay.
You should stay too, Animal, you know? I wonder if Animal is vicious and man-eating. Animal.
Game ends.
What's this? Come on! Here's Mr. Mean once again. That sadistic barbarian. Oh, now he's gonna give him a good spanking.
Violators are going to come right back in a few minutes and face the T-Birds for the Commissioner's Cup.
That's what a good spanking will get you, you know? Good spankings like that, hard to come by, but when they come around...
Devastating.
So, naturally, Violators beat the Rockers. The championship we've all been waiting for. T-Birds versus Violators.
The hour has arrived. The T-Birds and the Violators will now meet for the championship of the Commissioner's Cup Series. The cycle ends with a stranglehold on little Ralphie, who lists his age only as something something, who hit the deck hard, and now Speedy is being mauled by the guy they call the Killer, and down goes Shamu. Kenny Miller gets 2 on the wall, 2 on the jump, leapfrogs the flea. Paula Wilson gets a whip from Electric Randy, goes underneath Lauren Hollywell, around Nancy Wilkinson, and stops the cycle.
Look, it's just a balanced game, you know? Sometimes it's about being 350 pounds and beating people up, but occasionally it's about being 105 pounds and leapfrogging people and going between their legs.
Cycle ends.
Oh, Skinny Minnie just gave her a ride of her life.
And as time runs out, 2 black jerseys do a tandem forward somersault. Fingers are pointing and cheerleaders are cheerleading.
And Animal has the Alligators waiting just in case we need them.
You know I need those Gators, Animal.
Debbie McCorkle. Interesting story. Born legally blind. Stephanie Garcia is going to get a whip from Lauren Hollywell. She's in trouble and off balance, and down she goes.
Eyes on him all season long.
1 second left. And the cycle ends as Mr. Mean goes airborne. And there's the enforcer, enforcing his own set of laws on the throat of Speedy.
Anyways, I wonder if anyone's gonna pull ahead here in the final seconds, or if it's gonna remain a tie.
We are going to finish this championship game.
The Gators. We're going into sudden death, Chuck.
Tied at 80.
We're heading to overtime? Oh my gosh, wait. Could this be...
Devastating?
Wait a second, wait. 80 to 80. We're going into overtime. Could this be...
Devastating?
It could be devastating.
So devastating!
Bring on the Gators. Bring on the Gators.
And right on cue, here come the Gators.
Oh my god, look at this dude though. For real though. Look at his hair just... Woo! Take me, Animal. Take me!
Specially designated Gator skaters can win it for their team in one of 2 ways. By simply winning a 6-lap sprint, or by tossing the other team's Gator skater into the pit.
Place your bets now on whether they will finish 6 laps or whether one of them will be thrown into the pit.
There are 3 7-footers and 1 big 10-footer known as Roller Gator. There he is right there. Look at those teeth.
designated gator skaters, and here we go in sudden death. Rather than win the lap, they're going to try to wrestle each other over that rail and into the pit.
They literally only skated about 10 feet before they started throwing punches. I love this sport. The beautiful game.
Now the Violators got him by the shirt. He's got him up to the rail. He's pulling him up. Oh, the T-Bird went in. Fight that gator. Get away from him. It could be devastating. Get that man out of the pit. I can't believe what we're witnessing here tonight.
So devastating.
But they have won in sudden death overtime.
Come on, get out of there, buddy.
A victory lap for the Violator, a roll over the top, apparently uninjured for the T-Bird Gator Skater.
I love as they're celebrating. The announcer's like,
Get out of here, please.
Next week, they will be taking on Bad Attitude. A quick chance for redemption after today's painful defeat.
the way I see it, Violators, well played. GG's, Violators. Nobody saw it coming. Everyone thought it was going to be T-Birds. But nah, equal opportunity game. Anyone can win. And the Violators violated their way to the top. And that should be a lesson to all of you. Sometimes you just gotta violate your way to the top. Maybe someday they'll bring the roller games back. But until then, thanks for watching. If you left a like and a sub, man, you know what it could be. Could be devastating. So, yeah. Have a great day.